together with Bayan and those who will be elected in the Senate, then our option is to have it passed in the ARMM, a regional version of the RH bill, because I mean, we cannot push it where we don't have the votes. But then if within the regional legislative assembly of ARMM, where they're all Muslims, where we can use the influence of our religious leaders, then most probably we can get it. And that's where I'm concentrated on. And my organization and other organizations that I'm affiliated with are looking at particular situation, like if not nationally, then maybe we can do it regionally and armed. And already at the provincial levels, we're already pushing for RH ordinances by the LGUs, the same as what the other LGUs here, when you can't have it, they do the ordinance when the LGUs are supportive of the RH.
But how would you add to the maternal health situation, even if the RH bill is not in place yet?
Well, for one, the women cancers are rising in incidence and account for a growing number of deaths among Filipino women. Breast cancer, cancer of the uterus, cancer of the cervix, and even of the ovaries. So one of the things that I would like to work on with a Slamat Lord majority in the Senate, if I get to work there, is for free testing, diagnosis, and treatment of these women cancers, several of which are very easily and economically detected and even economically treated. So at an early stage, when upon discovery, then the chances for survival would be higher. So that's just one of the overlaps between health legislative agenda and women legislative agenda, like the RH bill, that I would like to work on further in the 15th Congress.
I think I'll pass it on muna to the others so that they can have some questions. Who would be next? Merck?
Yes.
Ano yung position niyo dun sa struggle ng mga Bangsamoro for a Bangsamoro domain? Especially your vice presidential candidate, Maro Asaf-Erika, strongly opposed the idea of having a BJP sa kainitan siya ng
Of course, the issue, if we're going to look at the root cause of why the Bangsamoro is asking for this, is if you've read your history, it's what they call historical injustice. And so you have economic marginalization, political subordination, social, the social aspect of us being minoritized, and culturally the othering, and the discrimination by virtue of our identity and all that. And so with that, you have a situation where in Mindanao, there's what they call, there's poverty in Mindanao, but there's second level of poverty. And that's where majority of the ARMM Muslim-dominated provinces are within the poorest, top 10 bottom poorest provinces in the country. Given in that situation, it's but natural that if you are in that places, you would look for better situation, no? And if you believe that the government is not giving what is due you, and from a rights-based perspective, those are human rights, nothing, I mean, it's but natural to dream and aspire for a better situation. And you would think, kung ayaw nyo sa amin at ayaw nyo kaming alagaan, why not let us go and govern ourselves, no? You are forcing us to be part of the Philippine, government, and yet in terms of services and what is due us as citizens of this country, we don't have it. And so that's where the idea came out. Now, so my position there is that I'm for what is best option for the people. And what I mean by best option is that if it's not a question of whether are you outside of the Philippine body politic or are you within. I think the best option is the option for me is that who can provide the best option to the Bangsamoro people in terms of the right for for development, human development. We've seen the ARMM and critics are saying it has not done any good, no, in terms of improving the situation. Although others again would say we've never really had a genuine autonomy because it's still an autonomy that is controlled by Malacanang, as evidenced by lahat ng nai-elect na governor ng ARM are still handpicked by Malacanang. So, the idea of MOA, AD, and DJE was to really have a genuine self-governance issue, no? And so sa akin naman is that, babalikan ko, what the government should be doing is to provide an open discussion and free, free discussion and exploration of what is best for the Bangsamoro people, and that's where we aim for broad-based, people-centered kind of a peace process and a peace talk, where it's okay, right? You talk to the armed groups, but then you also do not neglect the biggest number of people who are stakeholders to the process, and that's the civilians, Muslim, Christians, and Lumad, who are affected by the conflict themselves. The problem in the previous administrations, even lalo na dito sa current administration, is that peace talks are seen to be limited to the government and the armed groups. And although we have civil society, POs, NGOs, and civilians participating and having their own peace and development agenda, these are not considered official. And so they're not usually taken as inputs to the peace agreements or peace negotiations that has come up. And that's what happened with the MOA ad, no? And I think the government, and I could say that if the problem, the crime and the death that came out of the failure of the signing of MOA ad, for me, I think I could easily blame it and put it on the lap of President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, because she knew that other people are not comfortable with the agreement. And she must have known definitely that there was gonna be a violent reaction to that. But did she do anything about it? She did not. No, she just went on. What she could have done was, before really giving a signal to the MLF that everything is okay and fine and they're gonna sign it, she could have consulted even within government. She could have consulted the LGUs whose areas are affected by the BJA. She could have set the legislature and all branches of law, but she did not. She did not, and that's what happened. And I think ang feeling ko there was ill will on her part, that she knew that was not gonna happen. But what is very unforgivable is the crime that came, the deaths that came after. What is very, very still, very clear and in my mind is the death of women, pregnant women, nung makita yung katawan na open yung womb and the fetus was, nowhere. And as I've said, she knew that there was gonna be a violent reaction to that. Her party members, LGU party members, she's very aware of their position on that, but she did not do anything about it. So, as I've said, for me is the best option that we can give to our people. It doesn't necessarily